Brewers, and be a Girl Scout.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Maybe Miami's got the flash, but we brought the bang.
This is well struck. Back at the track, and it's gone!
It's the Brewers and the Marlins in South Beach. Our Brewers-Marlins radio network game day coverage starts today at 12:05 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 73 degrees. Today, scattered showers and storms and mostly cloudy with a high of 78. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 61. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Tiff Pua. A double shooting leaves a child injured on Milwaukee's southwest side. Police responded to 12th and Cleveland around 9 p.m. Saturday night to a person negligently handling a gun. He unintentionally shot himself and an 8-year-old. Both were taken to the hospital for their injuries. A man is dead after drowning in Delavan Lake. Police responded to a call just before 2:30 Saturday afternoon to reports of a man near the Viewcrest area of Delavan Lake. A 26-year-old man from Texas, his body was recovered from the water. Police do not suspect foul play. This comes hours after a 57-year-old man from Illinois was found unresponsive on a boat earlier in the day from a possible drowning. He also died. Officials still surveying the damage Sunday caused by the catastrophic flooding in damaged central Texas.
In the hardest hit part of Kerr County, 28 adults and 15 children died when they were swept into the Guadalupe River after it surged out of its banks in a matter of minutes. The same storms that struck Kerr County caused flash flooding to the east and northeast. In all, at least 51 people have died in the Independence Day floods. Dozens more are still missing. Jim Ryan, ABC News, San Antonio.
8 men deported from the United States in May and held under guard for weeks at an American military base in Djibouti while their legal challenge played out in court have officially been deported to South Sudan. The immigrants from Cuba, Laos, Mexico, Myanmar, Vietnam, and South Sudan arrived after a federal judge cleared the way for the Trump administration to relocate them. Their challenge had earlier gone to the Supreme Court, which permitted their removal. An escaped animal prompts a legal battle.
A Cudahy woman is fighting to keep her pet wallaby. The 1.5-year-old marsupial August escaped from her home and was rescued by police last Thursday. Linda Rouster purchased August from the 7 Mile Fair flea market in Racine last year. Cudahy police rescued him near a FedEx facility. However, Cudahy City Ordinance says that Rouster is not allowed to have a wild animal, and she now has 5 days to turn him into animal control or rehome him. Rouster has plans to fight to keep her pet. Elizabeth Linton, WTMJ News.
After 3 weekends and 9 days of celebration, Summerfest came to a close.
While experiences at Summerfest range from amazing concerts to enjoyable food and beverages, festival goer Don Kronberg says he's been making the trip to Milwaukee for 45 years.
There is nothing like Summerfest. Nothing. The best party in the United States.
Kronberg says that coming from Chicago, Milwaukee has found a way to make better festivals.
The city of Chicago, where I live, does such a horrible job with festivals. Milwaukee gets it right.
Sean Brindup, WTMJ News.
The renovation of a war memorial honoring a local hero is complete, and you are invited to come out for the rededication.
Bayview native Lance Saijon died more than 55 years ago after his fighter jet exploded over the dense jungles of Laos. After being tortured, he died in a Vietnamese prison camp and was awarded the Medal of Honor. On Thursday, July 10th at 10 a.m., a rededication of his fighter jet memorial near the airport will take place with full military honors. Thanks to donations from WTMJ listeners, the plane has now been completely repainted. The public is invited to come out to honor a local war hero. 10 a.m. on July 10th. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:03.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Dutch Boys Durafighter is a premium interior paint and primer in one with a tough-lasting formula. It provides great scrub resistance and durability with remarkable hide and a smooth finish. Save big on Dutch Boys Durafighter paint at Menards and start your next project today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
An RBI double from Cotroneo puts the Brewers on top in the 8th.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
Choreo's hitting over 340 against left-handed pitching this year. When opponents want to bring in a lefty, technically have the advantage on two of these three guys, but the advantage that Choreo has on your lefty here is really going to come through.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lose to the Marlins 4-2 on Saturday, splitting the series so far. They're hoping for a win today as Brandon Woodruff makes his season debut when he starts for the Brewers. Coverage begins at 12:05 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Couple incidents to keep you aware of. The ramp from 94th South to 894 West. The left lane is blocked due to a crash. Now, police have the lane blocked off as they finish the cleanup, and traffic is moving through that area. Just give them a lot of space. We also have a brand new crash on the exit to Beecher from 94 North. I can't see it on the cameras yet, but make sure you give them a little bit of space there. And 94 South, a mile beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 11. Now that's near Apple Holler. The right shoulder is closed due to a crash. There were 4 police squads out there working on that area, so give them a lot of space.
Traffic is sponsored by East Troy Lions Music Festival. East Troy Lions Music Festival is on now. Live music, carnival rides, and fun for all.
East Troy Lions Music Festival. 3 stages, 21 acts. This weekend, carnival rides, food, family, fun. Huge beer tent. Fireworks Saturday, parade Sunday. EastTroyLions.org.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, scattered showers and storms and mostly cloudy with a high of 78. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 61. For your Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 77. And that continues to Tuesday, partly sunny with a slight chance of rain with a high of 81. For your Wednesday is a chance of scattered showers and storms and partly cloudy, a high of 80. For your Thursday, mostly sunny and a high of 81. Right now in Madison, it's 72. In Waukesha, it's 72. In Green Bay, it's 70. And in Milwaukee, there's rain and it's 73 degrees. I'm Tiff Bua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
What a rainy Sunday morning, Tiff. You mentioned the Sir John Memorial rededication that's taking place on Thursday. Now, what time is that again?
So that'll be 10 a.m. on July 10th. And we have to thank the WTMJ, listeners. They helped donate $80,000 to the, to the refurbishing of the memorial. And so this is your honor as much as it is ours. So we definitely want people to come out.
And definitely we're worried about the weather that day.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it's going to be a nice sunny day. And let's find out from TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. Does it look like Thursday's going to be a good day, Brendan?
Yeah, as of right now, Libby, it looks like Thursday is trending the driest out of the work week. Of course, the warmth, the humidity back later in the week, but yeah, Thursday's looking pretty good as of right now.
Oh, well, that's great because we'll want good weather at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. Brendan, let's talk about this morning a little bit because we are waking up to rain all over the place. Does that mean today's going to be a total washout?
I don't necessarily think so. All of this rain associated with the slow-moving cold front. So some scattered showers, hit-and-miss rain in some spots. Right now in Milwaukee County, yeah, it's pretty much light to moderate rain. We're going to spend another couple of hours dealing with this. I do think we'll have some sort of brief reprieve in many parts of southeast Wisconsin through midday. But as the front finally clears the area early this afternoon, there's a chance for some redevelopment, some isolated showers, maybe a clap of thunder here or there. Mainly from Milwaukee down towards the state line as the front moves out. We're not expecting severe weather, but some torrential downpours, Libby, because it is really humid out there.
And you mentioned the downpours, and I want to ask you about this tragedy in Texas. I think it's horrible when we're hearing about the loss of life. There are 51 people confirmed dead already. They're still searching for over 24 little girls that were at a camp. Could a flood like that happen anywhere, Brendan?
Essentially, yes. This was driven by repeated rounds of showers and thunderstorms, which Texas is pretty used to. This time of year, it is hot, it is humid. Air just like we have here in southeast Wisconsin right now. The dew points are very high. You get repeated rounds of rain. We call these training showers and thunderstorms. They follow each other like train or boxcars on a train. You can wind up with significant amounts of rain in a very short amount of time. Now, this particular area, we also have to factor in the terrain. This is a very hilly terrain in central Texas where this all took place. And when the ground can't soak anything up, Libby, it all runs off. And so it ran off into this major river nearby, northwest of San Antonio. And from what I've been reading is this river rose approximately 34 feet in the span of just a few hours. And this is what contributed to this dangerous and ultimately deadly flooding that happened. So we haven't had an event like that here for some time in the Wisconsin area or southeast Wisconsin. Of course, I think a lot of folks remember the extreme flooding here in Milwaukee many, many years ago, where I believe, streets in River West turned into rivers, and Shorewood as well. I mean, that's the kind of flooding, we'd be talking about, where you get all that rain happening in a short amount of time. It messes everything up.
And does it have to do with a proximity to a river? You mentioned it's a major river in Texas. I would assume that means you're more prone to this kind of an event?
Yeah, so essentially, the rain running off in this entire hilly area towards that river, the river swells, it rises very quickly. There's so many things that go into this, but if the soil is already saturated or becomes saturated very quickly, it's not going to soak in anymore. That rain is going to run off because these communities are located near the rivers. The rivers start to swell. It floods very quickly, and all of that water is going to move down the river system. And unfortunately, any communities or structures that are near the river, they just, completely wiped out in a matter of hours as all of that water rushed down.
Just an amazing event. All right, so today looks like we're going to at least end up with a little bit of sunshine later on.
Yeah, so the thing that we're watching for, and some really good news I have, is that once this rain is out of here by early afternoon, I still do think by midday, maybe 1, 2 o'clock, we could have some isolated activity from the city down towards the state line. But we get a nice breeze off of Lake Michigan. The northeast breeze comes in. Libby, the temperatures and the dew points start to come down.
All right.
Finally. Yes.
Finally.
You. So you're welcome. I'm so excited. It's the best graphic, best news I had. The dew points are sitting in the low 70s, upper 60s, air you can wear. And finally, we get these dew points to come down through the 60s and into the upper 50s by late this evening. A world of difference. It'll feel so much nicer tonight and into tomorrow. And I think we finally can maybe power off the AC for a bit and open up the windows.
Wouldn't that be amazing? TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson, it is always great to have you here.
Yep, no problem. Take care, Libby. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
You too. It's 8:13. We're at 71 degrees at WTMJ. We've got a busy show ahead. All that rain, It's going to be good for your garden, right? Well, Melinda Myers is here with us. She's got some midsummer gardening tips for us. And also, speaking of gardens, we're going to tell you where you can walk through some private gardens later this week, and it's for a good cause. Also, new at 9, Timey Wallaby Down, folk? Well, we've got one here in southeastern Wisconsin. We're going to tell you that story. Also, Timothy Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal is here. He's got a story about a challenge for Florsheim shoes. Plus, Sandy Max is here with Sunday What's on Tap, and she's going to talk about that new Superman movie. I cannot wait. Plus, some classic films that are going to be playing in town this week. Plus, our consumer expert has a warning for you about monitoring your kids' online gaming activities. And, you know, during the summer, they've got a lot of time to do that, don't they? We're also going to take a look back at the week in review. Isaac's here. He's pushing those buttons. Tiff Poo is in the newsroom. And in just 2 minutes, it's Mark Horton Sports right here on WTMJ. It's 8:15, and those temperatures, 71 degrees, and a lot of rain out there on this Sunday morning.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Brewers floundered against the Marlins yesterday, losing 4-2 despite a strong start.
A liner into center. Coming in is Myers. He can't get to it. It's under his glove. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Cotroneo can jog around third and trot home. Hoskins on his way around second, and he's got a standing triple. Brewers lead it 1-0 with the easiest triple you'll ever see.
The teams traded runs back and forth until a bases-loaded single in the eighth brought in 2 runs for the Marlins. The Brewers and the Marlins meet one more time this afternoon, and Brandon Woodruff returns to the mound for the first time in almost 2 years. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up here on WTMJ. I'm Mark Hort for WTMJ Sports.
I have a question for you, Mark Hort.
What's that?
Have you ever shined your shoes?
You know, I don't think I have. I work in radio.
You know, and this is the thing. I mean, there was a time where that was a big deal. Men would shine their shoes, you know, if not every day, certainly at least once a week before they'd head out to church or
of course.
Fancy, you know, dinner or whatever. But there is a shoe company right here in Wisconsin, which has been known for years, Florsheim. And they've got some changes coming. We're going to tell you about it with Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal right after this. It's all on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Get ready to head south, crew, because it's time to go deep sea fishing. The Brewers head to Miami to take on the Marlins.
3-1. And a fly ball down the left field line. Back at the track. It is gone. one, Joey Ortiz. Big fly for a grand slam in New York.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:05. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Well, it is a rainy Sunday morning, but those showers and storms aren't going to last all day. By around 2 or 3 this afternoon, as TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson told us, things will clear up a little bit. We might even see a little bit of a glimpse of sun. But we probably have hit our high for the day already because we're going to be in the lower 70s throughout most of the day. Then partly cloudy tonight, down to 61. Tomorrow, not bad. Sunny, 77. Tuesday looks partly sunny. Another chance of some storms and a high of 81. Then on Wednesday, let's see, we're going to see more scattered showers and storms, partly cloudy and a high of 80. But Thursday looks beautiful with sunny skies and a high temperature of 81 degrees. We've got 71 at 8:20 on WTMJ. It's time to check in on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line with Timothy Gibbons. He is the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And boy, the city looks like they're going to be given some pretty good incentives to a brand new office tower downtown. Tell us about that one, Tim.
It's actually an office tower conversion. So this is a fascinating development. As listeners might recall, a couple weeks ago, the city back in April rolled out a new incentive plan for residential development. So there's a big question about how should a city incentivize residential projects. You know, the idea of incentivizing, say, a manufacturer, retail even, that brings people in. But what do you do with residential? So historically, it's easy to say, okay, affordable housing, people who make below the median income sort of thing, will incentivize projects for them. This new plan that was rolled out in April basically expands the types of projects that the city would incentivize, and 2 projects are now on track to possibly receive those incentives. It still has to go through the Common Council and such.
And do you think it's going to get passed?
Well, I mean, the mayor's office definitely hopes so. So the 2 projects, one is on 100 East Wisconsin Avenue, and the other is in the Harambe neighborhood. They would have affordable apartment units in them, but they'd also have units that would be affordable only for people making more money. The big one would be looking for $14.4 million in city incentives. It would be for the conversions because conversions are expensive. I think a lot of people think about the idea of, look, with work from home, there's higher vacancies. And we need housing. It seems like that's really easy, turn an office into housing. But it turns out it's more complicated. There's issues of plumbing, there's issues of electrical. It's just as complicated, and it's expensive. So the developer behind that project, which everybody seems to like as a project, but has said without this type of incentive behind it, it just wouldn't pencil out to work as a project.
How successful have the combined income properties done as far as we're going to have a high end and then we're going to have a more affordable end?
That's a really good question. And in some ways, I think it's a question that Milwaukee is still trying to answer. Nationally, those projects do have success because you end up with, it becomes a desirable building. The property might have a stigma attached to it, or might just be in a part of town that isn't as desirable for everyone to live in. So if you have these mixture of income levels, it kind of moves it to, yeah, it's just an apartment building. You're just moving into an apartment building like everybody else, and there is probably societal benefit to having different groups of people mix like that.
I have a question for you, Tim. When was the last time you shined a pair of shoes?
I have shined my own shoes. It has been years. Actually, when I went to a job interview, I was going through an airport and had the airport shoe shine guy give him a good buffing.
Well, it's time to get your floor shines shined. And you've got a story about Florsheim, which is one of those names. We don't hear that very often, do we?
No. So the Florsheim Shoe Company is a long, long history of the Florsheim family and of that company in the shoe business and in Milwaukee. The brand names that they sell, it's Nunn-Bush, Stacey Adams, Boggs, and obviously Florsheim itself are the different brands they sell, and most of their shoes come from overseas. So what they are dealing with, as so many manufacturers are, is how tariffs are impacting the cost of their products. You know, as you put this tax on the products coming in, what does that do on the consumer front? And as of this week, at least some of those brands are going to see basically a 10% jump in price.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, something that the company's been saying, look, as the costs go up, clearly some of that cost is going to be passed along to consumers. I had a conversation with the president of the Chicago Fed a week or so ago, and one of the things he talked about was that idea of tariffs have not led to inflation as much as people feared, in part because different people are kind of taking a bite of it. And you do have these overseas manufacturers are basically absorbing some of the cost of the tariffs. The companies themselves are absorbing some of the cost of the tariffs. But at the end of the day, consumers are going to have to absorb some of it as well. And in this case, it's going to be a 10% jump on your new kicks.
We are talking with Timothy Gibbons. He is the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And, you know, you mentioned about overseas, international. Let's go to the Texas border because there's a Milwaukee area firm that's expanding there. Explain what's going on.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I'm a long time. My reporting career was covering transportation for a long time, so maybe this story grabbed me even more than most. But there's a company here called Evans Transportation. Their CEO was one of our C-Suite Award winners last year. They're a rapidly growing company, family-owned, and just see business booming. And they're opening an office on the Mexico-Texas border in the town of Laredo to service basically all this truck traffic that is going back and forth. So it's interesting as you look at the international trade sphere, there is a push to have stuff manufactured domestically, but NAFTA and now the trade agreement that has come after NAFTA, but basically the same thing, still allows for things to be produced in Mexico and to come in. And if you look at the automotive space, for example, has a lot of products that are made partially in Mexico and then they're brought to the U.S. and they go back to Mexico for some work and they come here for some work and they go back and forth. And if you're a logistics company, that's what you do. So Evans Transportation is looking to grow by servicing that trade between here and Mexico.
All right, let's move to real estate. And the city of Franklin has kind of a reputation among some of those real estate developers that they're not the easiest municipality to work with.
Well, and I think the important thing in that sentence might be what tense you have that verb in. So they definitely had a reputation that they were not easy to work in. We did a survey a couple years ago, and Franklin came up as one of the most difficult to work with. To boil it down to a really simple example, if you were opening up a retail shop in Franklin. In most municipalities, you would be under the retail zoning because you're a retail shop. That would make perfect sense. In Franklin, they had very specific, a dress shop would be treated slightly differently from a shoe shop. Things that I think most people would think basically should be treated the same. So a lot of paperwork, a lot of red tape, and the city, to its credit, took those concerns very seriously. And what they've rolled out after years of working on it is a new unified development ordinance, which basically sets the rules that developers have to play under. And it's made those rules much more streamlined, made it much easier to do business in Franklin, and the hope is that will attract even more development to the community.
I would think that certainly would make a difference. Finally, Tim, we're hearing about more and more country clubs that are shutting down and are going and selling their properties for development. And there's one in Kenosha where there's going to be some new housing.
Yeah, so if your listeners are interested in that, we actually have a big story coming up looking at the entire trend in that space, because you're right, there are a number of golf courses, country clubs, that basically these big tracts of land that are being sold for housing development. So the one that we reported on this week was the Maple Crest Country Club, which is in Summers. They're going to develop the land in the hundreds of housing units. The developer has now bought the property for $3 million and is looking to move ahead to do this mixture of single-family homes. I think there's some duplexes and quadplexes in there. So yes, 293 units on 125 acres that will really help meet the needs for housing in that community.
You wonder who gets to claim all those lost golf balls.
I assume that it comes with the property. It's buy a house, get a golf ball.
Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. It is always great to have you here.
Great to talk to you.
And it's 8:28, 71 degrees. That rain's going to be on and off till about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Here at Rich Lawns, we offer both comfort service and expert service.
Our comfort service comes with movie theater popcorn, hot gourmet coffee, upfront pricing, on-time scheduling, plus anything else we can do to keep you comfortable.
Put that on top of honest service from the most friendliest, hard-working people you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center, and well, we'd like to believe we're on the right track to meeting your expectations.
But when your check engine light, tire light, or any other light screams, "Service me," well, that means you're due for our other type of service.
Our expert service. Tires, brakes, belts, mufflers, transmissions, and even engine repair.
Come on into Richlands and put our expert service to the test.
And while you're relaxing, enjoy our comfort services too. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis.
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
By trading in that old mattress for a new Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hasslis Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. Plus, next day delivery and haul away of the old mattress for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasslis.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife recently had a major accident that involved her back. I felt blessed and lucky because Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is on our side. She's on the way to healing. They've got the best imaging and best doctors, the best systems, and the best way of taking care of you. They've got experts when it comes to things like shoulders, knees, and hips. And it's not always surgery. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin will take care of you from beginning to end. Go to their website, OHOW.com, OHOW.com. Request an appointment. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Well, there's some pretty good movies opening this week. One of them is Superman. Can't wait to hear about that with Sandy Max with What's on Tap. And she's also got a few classic movies that are going to be playing locally. We'll tell you where those will be. But before we do anything else, we've got Tiff Pua in the breaking news, in the WTMJ Breaking News Center at 8:30. And what is this, a standoff in Cudahy? Tiff?
Yeah, Libby. So at least there was a peaceful end to it. So it was a standoff and an officer-involved shooting in Cudahy. Police responded around 10 o'clock Saturday night to the complaint of damage to a property near East Henry and South Barland Avenues on Cudahy's south side. They tracked the suspect to a few blocks away near Crosswinds Drive, where they came to the door of a home where the suspect was pointing a gun then at officers. One officer fired their weapon at the suspect, who then retreated back into the home, forcing a shelter in place in that area. The 45-year-old Cudahy resident surrendered around 1 a.m. this morning. No one was injured and charges are pending. One person is dead after a motorcycle crash in Walworth County. Police responded around 9:30 Saturday night on Highway 11 and County Highway JS in the town of Sun Prairie to a crash between a three-wheeled motorcycle and an SUV. 73-year-old Mark Weiss of Burlington was driving that motorcycle and died at the scene. A passenger of the motorcycle and driver of the SUV were taken to the hospital for serious injuries. Investigations into the cause of the crash continue. And devastating flash floods from a storm that pounded central Texas have killed at least 51 people. Authorities say that 15 of those victims were children. Governor Greg Abbott vowed that crews would work around the clock to rescue and recover victims, but authorities have not yet said how many people are missing beyond the 27 children who were at a girls' summer camp. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Just 2 incidents to report. We have a crash on the exit to Mitchell from 94 North. Now, police were on the scene to clear that one in. It looks like that might have gotten taken care of. The other one is we've got pavement damage on Wisconsin 32 North, just beyond Fond du Lac Avenue in Sheboygan Falls. Now, all lanes are closed in that area, so it'll be good for you to find an alternate route. Stay safe, everyone.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free 7 days a week at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. Serving lunch on Saturday from 11 till 2. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Scattered showers and storms and mostly cloudy with a high of 78. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 61. For your Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 77. Tuesday, partly sunny with a slight chance of rain or storms, high of 81. Wednesday, Chance of scattered showers and storms and partly cloudy, a high of 80. And Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 81. Right now in Cudahy, it's 74. In Sheboygan, it's 71. And in Milwaukee, there's rain and it's 73 degrees. I'm Tiff Bua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:33.
Thanks a lot, Tiff. And in just 2 minutes, it's the Week in Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Hey, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Joe. To what do we owe the honor?
Don't you have CEO-type things you need to be doing?
Or Joe might be here because he's been doing some CEO-type things that he thinks we should know about.
Bingo! You guessed it, Monica.
What do you need us to do, Joe?
Well, I'm here because I want to present an idea to you.
Cool. What is it?
I've been talking with finance companies and was able to make a deal for 18-month financing at 0% interest with a $750 or more purchase.
And your idea was to offer 18-month 0% financing to all of our customers?
It's subject to credit approval, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How long will we be able to do it?
From July 1st to July 31st.
0% will let people buy diamonds that were on their bucket list.
I know what I'm buying.
I'm going on a shopping spree. I'm going to have more jewelry than the Queen of England.
So you like the idea?
We don't like it. We love it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
And welcome back to the second half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. It was quite a violent week for Milwaukee County police officers. There was also a mega bill that passed in the Capitol, and drones lit up the Milwaukee sky. There was a lot more going on, too. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go.
Officer Kendall Porter, the man critically injured in a shooting on Thursday, has passed away.
Officer Porter loved being an officer. He was proud to be part of Team MPD.
It is with great sorrow and heartbreak that we lose our brother today.
I can't think of anybody more brave, anyone more honorable than Officer Porter.
Tremaine Jones faces 3 total charges, including first-degree intentional homicide.
Outside Milwaukee Police District 2, a patrol SUV has become a makeshift memorial for Officer Kendall Porter.
They go in day out and protect the community, and this could happen to anyone.
I always made it a point to speak in the future. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you in the morning. Because there's that 1 in 1 millionth or 1 trillionth of a chance that you might not.
If you can respond to the railroad track crossing on Independence.
3 people have minor injuries after a 19-car train derailment on Hartford's far northwest side.
There's approximately several thousand gallons of diesel fuel that have spilled into the ground.
Breaking NBA free agency news, the Bucks are waiving guard Damian Lillard in order to make room and acquire veteran center Miles Turner.
If you were to go to Chat GPT and say, how do we replace Brooke Lopez? This is the guy.
The County Department of Transportation's Executive Director, Donna Brown-Martin, announced her resignation Tuesday.
Did the audit that we asked for related to MCTS probably contribute to her retiring? That is a strong possibility.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court has invalidated the state's 1849 abortion law.
Today's ruling marks a major victory for reproductive freedom following the uncertainty and harm to women's health that have resulted from the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
I'm just a big, beautiful bill. Yes, I'm only a big, beautiful bill.
Senate Republicans a short time ago passing the massive budget package.
On this vote, the yeas are 50,
The nays are 50.
The Vice President, J.D. Vance, casting the tie-breaking vote.
I believe we're going to deliver this, get the ball over the goal line.
It's now become something of a tradition, a lengthy House floor speech by a minority leader to delay action on a bill that's fiercely opposed by the party out of power.
Take my sweet time on behalf of the American people.
On this vote, yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
It's going to make this country into a rocket ship.
Today I am still just a big, beautiful bill.
This over to the Secretary of State.
Governor Tony Evers in speed read and speed pass mode. They signed into law a new state budget in less than 24 hours.
I think considering the fact that we've normally passed it by the 30th, it's like 2 days or 3 days afterward. I think that's pretty darn impressive.
Following breaking news out of Shorewood.
An officer shot.
I was turning onto the 1700 block of Wood. I got hit by about 3 rounds to my squad. One hit me in the shoulder.
We were incredibly fortunate that the vest did its job.
A developing story just north of downtown Milwaukee this morning.
Southbound MLK. This is Glendale Police in pursuit. Black Mercedes shooting vehicle from Shorewood. Shots fired. Russian bar and Finlayson.
It does appear that Milwaukee police have a vehicle pinned in with a couple of armored cars and a Milwaukee police SUV.
Out of nowhere, it was like 10 gunshots. The violence in this community, Milwaukee, Shorewood, and the attacks against our officers has got to stop.
The 45-minute drone show at McKinley Beach will feature images of Milwaukee's iconic landmarks and other patriotic themes.
They're greener, they're safer, and they don't produce smoke, particles, and debris like fireworks do when we've had them in the past.
What are we, gay?
Make this country into a rocket ship.
Yeah, that's cool.
Take care and goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Those drones sound like a swarm of bumblebees, don't they? The Weekend Review is brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Libby Collins here, and coming up in just a couple minutes, are you watching your kids when they're playing those video games online? Well, if you're not, you better start. We're going to tell you all about it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, and Loyal Family Renovations, they saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
When it comes to simple, affordable home improvements, at Less's Glass, you'll find an array of options. Like for bath remodeling, adding a new glass shower door, embeveling the edges of your mirrors, or simply having us install new mirrors to any living space in your home can add a touch of elegance and depth that can really turn a room's frown upside down. Or maybe you're thinking new cabinet doors. Before you write that check, find out how we can make your ordinary cabinet doors beautiful with a variety of glass insert options that can be easily installed into your existing wood cabinets and make a world of difference. And before you pay for new windows, call us to see if our affordable insulated glass replacement services can't save you a few bucks. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. They're the best in the business. They are CertaPro painters. Now's the time to get on their schedule. Their summer sales discount goes through the end of July. Do it now. They painted our house, the outside, absolutely fantastic. They're kind, they're thoughtful. They moved our patio furniture out of the way and moved it right back where it belonged. It is CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home or business, they're the best. Each CertaPro painters business is independently owned and operated.
Boy, there are days where I'm glad my kid is out of the house and on his own, and I don't have to worry about him playing video games online. Well, not everybody's as lucky, because as we're getting into those summer months, kids have a lot more free time, and they are spending more time online with video games. But there are things they need to be aware of. And joining us on our Siding Unlimited Talk and Text line is Michelle Reinen, our consumer expert from DATCAP. And what are you hearing about video game safety?
Well, we want parents to be aware that we need to establish parameters for video game safety because there are risks of online chatting, social media interactions, and gaming that can happen this summer with this increased screen time with all the free time kids have. And for video game safety, be aware that there are advertisements. Children are exposed to advertising while searching for video games on an app store, when downloading the games, and even during gameplay. Nowadays, ads compete for the player's attention at every stage of their video game playing experience, and some ads may even charge an account without a parent's knowledge or approval. So we hope that parents consider some prevention tips to protect their kids from that accidental or unauthorized purchases that can be prompted by ads.
So what is a parent to do? How can you protect from these things?
Well, you can read the online reviews and ratings before downloading apps and video games. Watch video of other people playing the game to see if you are approving of that, and then check out what players are saying about it online. You can activate parental control, and if making a purchase, don't allow the game to save payment information, so this can prevent accidental or unauthorized purchases. And then just set clear family rules for the kids using apps and video games. These could include the amount of screen time, restrictions on voice or text chats, and how and when they can buy a game or make an in-game purchase.
And I think parents need to set a few rules as well.
Absolutely. I mean, establishing those ground rules of what's in bounds, what's out of bounds, and letting those rules grow as the children age also allows that learning experience. But sitting down and having that conversation is really the first step.
And it's summertime. Get them outside. Get them involved in some things like swimming and playing like we used to in the street, right?
Well, that's always a good idea, but we know where kids want to default, or many of them do. So we just have to make sure that we're building safe structures and zones for them to do so. And talking about that personal information and those advertisements and how money is spent will be a good first step.
Did you ever play dodgeball in the street, Michelle?
Oh, we did kick the can, but yes, we were there.
Yeah, dodging the ball and the cars. Listen, Michelle Ryan, it's always great to hear from you.
Thank you.
Those were the good old days. It's 8:45. We're a minute away from Sports with Marquardt right here at WTMJ.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Whether you're a bird enthusiast or simply enjoy the sight and sounds of nature, our Enchanted Garden Songbird Supreme Bird Food is a must-have year-round. Get a 20-pound bag on sale now through July 13th. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards. I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Marilyn.
I've been volunteering for over 30 years, so I got to know the community and loved it. We have a theater, community room, and we have bocce outside. They have gardens all over the campus that the residents tend to. Quilting groups, sewing groups, knitting groups, just lots and lots of amenities. Never a boring day.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers fell to the Marlins last night 4-2 after Isaac Collins tied the game in the fourth.
The pitch. Line drive, base hit, pulled into right center field. That'll tie us up. In from third comes Chourio, and Hoskins stops at second base. Great job, Isaac Collins, and he ropes a game-tying RBI single. 2-2 ball game in the fourth.
Great job, Isaac Collins, indeed. A bases-loaded single in the eighth brought in 2 runs for the Marlins and effectively ended the game for the Crew. The Brewers and the Marlins meet one more time this afternoon, and Brandon Woodruff returns to the pitcher's mound for the first time in almost 2 years. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
Well, you're waking up this morning to some scattered showers. It's going to be mostly cloudy through most of the day. Those temperatures are going to be cooling off as the day goes on. We're in the low 70s mostly around southeastern Wisconsin. It's not going to get much warmer than that. Then tonight, cloudy down to 61. Tomorrow looks mostly sunny. We'll get up to 77. Tuesday, partly sunny, a slight chance of some rain and a high of 81. Then another chance of some storms on Wednesday under partly cloudy skies, and those temperatures get up to 80 on Thursday. That's the nice day of the week. Sunshine and 81. Well, if you're out there in some of those lakes and you're thinking, gee, I want to take the boat out, maybe not so much, because it is raining right now. Mostly around here in Elkhart Lake, it's 69 degrees, and you've got some light rain. Muskego, you've got 74 and some clouds out there. Lake Geneva, some drizzle, 73. And at WTMJ, we have 71 degrees at 8:48. Coming up in just a couple minutes, a movie I'm really excited about. It's opening on Friday. It's Superman, and Sandy Max has all you want to know about it. Coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
An RBI double from Chourio puts the Brewers on top of the 8th.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
Chourio's hitting over 340 against left-handed pitching this year. When opponents want to bring in a lefty, technically have the advantage on two of these three guys, but the advantage that Chourio has on your lefty here is really going to come through.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Have you seen the Milo bedroom at Penny Mustard Furnishings?
You know it, Daddy-O, and it's boss. I mean, if you don't dig the mod mood of the Milo bedroom, you're Dullsville.
Ben.
What's your bag, man?
Why are you talking like that?
I think I know. He's saying the Milo bedroom from Penny Mustard takes you back to the times of Mad Men, martinis, and mop tops.
Right on, Nicole.
Oh, well, I agree. It's refreshingly retro. I love Milo's clean, streamlined look.
It's a gas.
Sophisticrafted in the USA with solid wood and scaled to fit any room.
What you mean to say is, the Milo bedroom is perfect for your pad.
Yeah, dude. It's totally bodacious.
Wrong decade, Arvid.
Oh.
Don't be so square, man.
The Milo bedroom, starting at just $217 a month with no interest till July of 2027 through July 6th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Groovier versions of what people dig.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, it's time to check in with Sandy Max. It is Sunday. What's on tap? Sandy, There are very few movies that come out that I am super excited for, but I put the emphasis on super because I cannot wait for the new Superman movie.
Next week. Did you get your tickets already?
Not yet, but it opens Friday, right?
Yes, on Friday, and here's the deal. This has been one of the biggest pre-sales ever.
Really?
Yeah, the tickets have smashed records for early sales. 2025's fastest-selling Fandango title, beating Fantastic Four, First Steps, and there are even early access screenings on Tuesday if you dig around and sniff around. I know.
Well, what's making this movie, I think, more exciting is for the first time, you're going to see a live-action Crypto.
And who is Crypto for people who don't know?
Superman's dog.
But you don't often see Superman's dog. I think there are a lot of people
unless you read the comic books, which, by the way, I did.
Good.
And, and some of the animated series, I think. But this is the first time that you're really seeing it. And really, it kind of goes back to, I think, a more interesting time with Superman in movie history. And that's when Christopher Reeve played him. Versus they've gotten so serious over the last couple of years. And this guy who's playing Superman this time around seems to have more of a tongue-in-cheek play on it.
Well, this is the entire dynamic here. Zack Snyder is the person who has directed the ones that you're talking about. They're kind of moody.
They're
and
dark.
Henry Cavill, and I saw Man of Steel because I love Michael Shannon so much. He played General Zod. And yeah, that was just really heavy. I was like, I don't know that I full on enjoyed that. It was certainly a mythological story, but it wasn't my favorite representation. And so all of the Zack Snyder fans, though, who prefer the gray color palette and the really angst-ridden, I'm a superhero, but now I have these powers and all this responsibility. This is James Gunn, who directed Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, which had a sense of humor and a lot of fun. So now this Superman is going to have a more emotional story. It's called script-first storytelling instead of just, okay, what characters do we have and just make it work. This James Gunn is looking for the hopeful side of things and even looking at kindness as a superpower. So there's still going to be a ton of action. There are even some scenes that are being compared to Top Gun Maverick. So this is going to be a superhero movie for sure, but a lot more relationships. And I think you see some of that empathy just even mentioning that Crypto the dog is going to be part of this. You know, like pet owners have that empathy, have that sense of kindness. And I think that's one way to show that. But I would say that the Snyderverse folks, unfortunately, are so against this style of storytelling that in social media, they want to put out spoilers and really try to ruin the success of this film. And I think that's very short-sighted because movie theaters are struggling to still get back, and they're looking for these big summer blockbusters. So to kind of cut this one off at the knees just because you don't prefer this style of storytelling, and this is also launching a whole new DCU universe of monsters and gods. And so this is really trying to inject life into the superhero genre. So, like, don't take down all of cinema by being snarky. Just let this be successful.
And there is a Wisconsin connection with Lois Lane.
Don't we love that? Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is performing as Lois Lane. Rachel Brosnahan is the actress.
And in the previews I've seen, I kind of like her portrayal.
I think she's a fantastic actress. And Nicholas Hoult is playing Lex Luthor. And I still remember Nicholas Hoult. He played the boy in the movie About a Boy, a Hugh Grant movie.
Oh my gosh,
That's
kidding.
how far
I didn't
back
realize
he
that.
goes. And he's continued to be a working actor since being a child actor. So he's very versatile and dynamic. So I'm looking forward to seeing Nicholas Hoult. So that's what brings me into this superhero film is actors who I recognize from other properties. And Crypto, a flying dog. How bad can that be?
It's a dog with superpowers. I mean, imagine if my dog had superpowers. Well, there wouldn't be a house left. Now, there are a couple other movies that are older films, but they're new again, and they are going to be shown this coming week around town.
Yeah, bide your time before Superman comes out later next week. If you want to see a true classic and one of my all-time favorite films, the Oriental Theater is airing a couple of musicals Monday, tomorrow night. Singing in the Rain.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, there you
it's
go.
Great to stay up late.
I love that.
Dignity, always dignity. I can quote that entire film. I love it. Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor and a lovely young Debbie Reynolds, who just the background on that, she was 16 and was keeping up with dancers like Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor. And danced till her feet bled, but you would never know. It's a truly classic film. To see it on the big screen is wonderful. So that's Monday night. But hold your horses. Wednesday, Beatles fans, A Hard Day's Night at the Oriental Theater.
In a big screen.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we seen it on TV? But to go back in a theater and see it, how much fun is that?
It is. I saw it when it was like one of the other anniversaries, like 20 years ago, when I lived in Chicago on the big screen. And just even the opening scene, when you see George Harrison trip and fall on the sidewalk, and they all just start laughing. But you can't really see those facial expressions when you're watching it on a smaller screen. And to hear the music, if you've got any generation, take a kid to go see A Hard Day's Night. Wednesday night at the Oriental Theater. And while we're at it, another classic film, Forrest Gump, is going to be on Thursday at the Oriental Theater. Yes, because Gary Sinise will be performing with his Lieutenant Dan Band July 14th. So this screening is to kind of get you pumped up and revisit another Academy Award-winning film. Remember the visual effects in that. Not just Lieutenant Dan and his legs, but putting Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump into all these different historical footage, whether he's talking to President Kennedy. It's a really fascinating film to see. And again, 1994, when Forrest Gump was made, no filmmaker was thinking, hey, you know what? Someday we're going to have these little rectangular computers in our pocket, and we'll make it so that way it looks good on there, too. Like, these were films, all these films that we're talking about are meant to be seen on the big screen.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. And by the way, what are you going to do on the show this week?
Speaking of Gary Sinise, he is scheduled to join me. Yes.
What day?
On Wednesday, July 10th.
Fabulous.
He will be sharing stories because he goes back like a 50-year friendship with the artistic director of Skylight Music Theater, Michael Unger. And that's what the Lieutenant Dan Band performing on July 14th is a fundraiser for Skylight Music Theater, because we all know how much Gary Sinise supports veterans and those in the military. He also supports theater. He's a co-founder of Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago. Like, that's how much he believes in the arts. And he's going to touch our local art scene.
Well, we will be listening.
Yeah.
Sandy Max, what's on tap? Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Libby.
It's 8:58. Coming up after the news, we are going to be talking with the owner of the Wallaby from Cudahy. It's all coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. If you have big questions about inflation, money, and your retirement goals, join me Tuesday, July 15th with your questions as I co-host an Instant Insight webinar with Annex Wealth Management's Chief Economist, Brian Jacobson. It's July 15th at 9 a.m. It's free, but you must register. Go to WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or check out events at AnnexWealth.com. Tuesday, July 15th, 9 a.m. It's free, but you need to register.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
It's worth $100 now to save thousands later. Vince Vitrano for Urban Heating and Cooling. Family-owned business. Ryan and his wife, Ellie. I had Ryan out to the Vitrano house for an AC tune-up. Cleaned out all the coils, checked for any issues that could cause breakdowns, set up my air conditioner to run more efficiently all summer. This service available in your home for just $99 plus tax, saving on your electric bills, helping prevent more costly repairs down the road. Tell them Vinny sent you when you call. UrbanHeatingandCooling.com.
Maybe Miami's got the flash, but we brought the bang.
This is well struck. Back at the track, and it's gone!
It's the Brewers and the Marlins in South Beach. Our Brewers-Marlins Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:05 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it's 73 degrees. Today, scattered showers and storms and mostly cloudy with a high of 78. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Tiff Bua. A double shooting leaves a child injured on Milwaukee's southwest side. Police responded to 12th and Cleveland around 9 p.m. Saturday night to a person negligently handling a gun. He unintentionally shot himself and an 8-year-old. Both were taken to the hospital for their injuries. A man is dead after drowning in Delavan Lake. Police responded to a call just before 2:30 Saturday afternoon to reports of a man in the water near the Viewcrest area of Delavan Lake. The body of a 26-year-old man from Texas was recovered from the water. Police do not suspect foul play. This comes hours after a 57-year-old man from Illinois was found unresponsive on a boat earlier in the day from a possible drowning. He also died. The death toll from the flash floods in Texas now stands at 51 and it's expected to climb even higher as the search for survivors enters another day. CBS's Christiane Benavides.
Scouring through debris left behind from the flash floods in Kerr County, Texas, this man was searching for his 8-year-old daughter. She's among the 27 girls who are still missing from a Christian summer camp after the Guadalupe River swelled 25 feet in less than an hour from torrential downpours, leading to a historic and devastating flood event.
We're at Camp Mystic looking for our kids. We're looking for places that they're going to potentially be alive.
Officials are holding out hope that survivors will be found, but it is a race against time. It's not clear how many people swept away by the currents are still missing. Fire departments across the state are facing challenges with staffing, funding, and training.
That's according to a new report released by the Wisconsin Office of Rural Health.
And with those challenges, it's harder for fire crews to respond to emergencies reliably, safely, and efficiently. James Small with the Office of Rural Health says over 80% of rural fire departments operate entirely with volunteers.
Relying solely on volunteers to provide the service because it's free isn't really a sustainable path anymore.
Over 400 fire chiefs contributed to the report. They recommend consolidating departments to help merge staff, budgets, and resources. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
You can find a copy of the full report on our website, WTMJ.com. And Summerfest came to a close with one final day of music and fun in the sun. Festival attendee Richard Bellinger attended every day of this year's festival and appreciated the amenities provided during the extremely hot days.
One day, when we had the hottest day on the second Saturday, I believe it was, they actually had a Milwaukee City bus on site that you could go camp out in for a period of time to cool down. And that was new to me.
30,000 people who arrived for the final day of Summerfest were given a free ticket to next year's festival. And the renovation of a war memorial honoring a local hero is complete, and you are invited to come out for the rededication.
Bayview native Lance Saijan died more than 55 years ago after his fighter jet exploded over the dense jungles of Laos. After being tortured, he died in a Vietnamese prison camp and was awarded the Medal of Honor. On Thursday, July 10th at 10 a.m., a rededication of his fighter jet memorial near the airport will take place with full military honors. Thanks to donations from WTMJ listeners, the plane has now been completely repainted. The public is invited to come out to honor a local war hero. 10 a.m. on July 10th. John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:03.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no-regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her Accunet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no-regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Downtown Milwaukee is open for business, and business is booming. I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. According to business leaders, access to talent, quality of life, and connection to community are among the many benefits of locating downtown. So, if you want to grow your company or start a new one, get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
It's time to find great summer values at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We have everything you need to get out and celebrate the season at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like 20-pound bags of Blaine's brand wild bird food. Rewards members get 2 for $12. Select Beyond Breeze high-velocity fans, $34.99. Plus, now through Sunday, we're thanking all first responders and healthcare workers with an extra 10% off their entire purchase. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original. In honor of Independence Day, our stores will be closed on Friday, July 4th.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Brewers lose to the Marlins 4-2 Saturday, splitting the series so far. They're hoping for a win today as Brandon Woodruff makes his season debut when he starts for the Brewers. Coverage starts at 12:05 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. 2 disabled vehicles to talk about. The first is 94 West, a little over a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 100. Left shoulder blocked with that vehicle. It looks like it's off to the side and out of the way, so just give it a little bit of space. And then 94 South at Holt, the right shoulder there is blocked with a disabled vehicle, but I can't see it on the cameras, so hopefully traffic is moving through there smoothly.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Enjoy the new all-you-can-eat Saturday breakfast buffet from 8 a.m. till noon for under $10 at the Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Just walk on in. It's big food, it's big fun, it's the Mineshaft.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today is scattered showers and storms and mostly cloudy, a high of 78. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 61. For your Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 77. Tuesday, partly sunny with a slight chance of rain or storms, high of 81. Wednesday, scattered showers with a chance, and partly cloudy, a high of 80. And for your Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 81. Right now in Madison, it's 73. In Waukesha, it's 72. In Green Bay, it's 69. And in Milwaukee, there's a light rain and it's 73 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
Feed, mate. Watch me wallabies feed. They're a dangerous breed, mate. So watch me wallabies feed.
No,
all together now.
wallabies aren't dangerous. And to tell you that, we've got Linda Rouster from Cudahy joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line. And by the way, if you're watching us on Facebook or you're streaming us, we've got some pictures of August the wallaby. And oh my gosh, Linda, he is adorable.
Thank you.
Now,
he is really a sweetheart.
Yeah. Okay. Now tell me about this. So you got you first acquired August about a year ago at 7 Mile Fair. What happened? I mean, how were you drawn to him?
I'm just a big animal lover. I love pets. I brought my kids in there to do a little shopping, and there's an exotic pet, seller there, and he had an advertisement that he was selling August. And my kids just looked at it like, Mom, he's so cute. Just let's get him.
Do you mind my asking, how much did August cost?
I mean, he wasn't cheap. He was around $3,000.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So you said that this exotic animal seller, he had August. What other kind of animals did he have there?
I mean, he didn't have August physically there. He just had like the advertisement. He had pictures of him, also along with a fox, a baby fox.
And okay, so you paid him. How did you then get August, and where did August come from?
Well, he has a farm. The seller has a farm in Madison, around Madison area. He has camels. He had at the 7 Mile Fair, he had like hedgehogs, sugar gliders, all smaller animals. And then any of the bigger animals, he just had like a poster with pictures of them. And then if I was interested, what he did is he drove from Madison and did a meet and greet at my house.
And when you met August, you fell in love?
I fell in love.
How much did you know about wallabies before you got him?
Well, as soon as I seen him, I did research on him.
And what did you find out about? What did you find out about wallabies that you didn't know before?
I mean, first I didn't even know you can own one, so that was the first question I had. Like, is it really legal? And the man explained to me, in the state of Wisconsin, there's not. And I actually did my own research and called the DNR and Department of Agriculture and asked questions to them as well.
And what did they tell you? Did they say it was okay to have him?
They did. The DNR said that I only needed a permit if I was to purchase him outside of Wisconsin and to cross the border.
Okay.
And that because I was purchased him inside of Wisconsin, I did not need a permit.
So the DNR cleared it. They said it was okay. Did you check with the city of Cudahy at the time? Because I think it's Cudahy. Don't you have to have like a license if you have dogs or cats or whatever?
Yes, I did, and I also have a dog as well. So when I got my dog license, I asked them, I said, I have a wallaby, do I need to get him licensed as well? They said, no, it was just cats and dogs.
So they knew you had, so you went to Cudahy. They knew you had a wallaby.
Correct.
All right.
I even spoke to he was the captain at the time, and now he's the chief of police. I even had to explain to him that I had a wallaby. He went through the ordinance, and he said there's nothing that says you can or can't have it, so nobody was unsure.
Okay, so you've had August for a year. He's been a loving member of your family. As we said, we've got the pictures right now. If you're streaming us, and you see him next to you've got a corgi, right? I mean, it looks like they get.
Well, he's a husky chihuahua mix.
Oh,
yes.
huskies. Well, it looks like they get along great. And again,
They do.
August looks very chill. So he's been living in the house with you. By the way, can you housebreak a wallaby?
So he goes to the bathroom on puppy pads.
Okay. And he knows to go to the puppy pad.
Yes, I have a puppy pad, and you just set it next to his food and water, and because they automatically, it's pretty much, I would say, not within 5 minutes after they eat, they poop.
Okay. So, and he knows to go there.
Keep it close by, yes.
So what happened this past week? What happened on Thursday where he got loose?
Well, he's on a schedule. And during nice days, you know, he's in the house. He's never been outside in the wintertime. Okay, August.
Oh, you got him right there. Oh, is August there with you right now? He's cuddling?
I don't know. You can hear him chitter-chattering. He's
Let's see.
talking to me.
Can we hear you, August? Oh, I hear something there.
No chitter-chatter.
Oh, he sounds adorable. Okay, so what happened on Thursday that he got loose?
So yes, he's on a time schedule. So I let him out. You know, I walk him around the yard, let him get his exercise, and then I put him in his little enclosure during the day, let him get sun. He's got the pool out there, let him relax. And then at nighttime, when it starts getting dark, I bring him in. But that day, I happened to be out of town.
Oh.
So my kids didn't think, hey, August is still outside, bring him in. And he must have got anxious, like, what's going on? He doesn't like, I think he has separation anxiety.
Okay.
Like when we all leave the house. That's the only time I notice that he'll poop anywhere else.
So he got a little confused and wandered off. So when you heard, okay, so how did you find out he was missing and how did you get him back?
My friend called me and she said there was a post on Facebook that a wallaby was loose. And knowing, you know, she knows me, like, I think you're the only one with a wallaby. And I said, oh, my goodness, somebody didn't bring him in the house. So I started freaking out. I called the police department. I went down there, verified who I was, and they released him to me.
All right. So you thought everything was fine. You brought August home. He's now back chilling at the house with your family. And what happened? How did you find out that they're saying now you cannot keep August as a pet?
The police showed up while I was doing a news interview about August, and they served me with paperwork. Well, they first asked me if I can surrender him right then and there, and they would turn him over to Maddox, and I refused. So then they said, well, they gave me the paperwork, and it says the definition, Cudahy ordinance does not allow wild animals. So I would have 5 days to either rehome him or surrender him.
And when is that 5 days up?
I believe Tuesday.
So what are you going to do? Have you hired a lawyer?
I have not hired a lawyer. I've done a little research. I plan on today. I'm actually taking him to a licensed, can't remember the name of it, but she does like tame testing to have him get tested to see if he's tamed. And if he's tamed, I have the legal documentation showing he's tamed, and I can take that to the health department to prove he is domesticated and not wild.
Wow. What, do you have any idea what they'll do as far as the testing?
I'm not sure. I've never done this, never had to go through any of this.
Yeah. What about your, obviously you've got kids. I hear them in the background.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. But how do they feel? I mean, do they know that they might lose their pet wallaby?
He doesn't really understand what's going on at the moment.
Oh, but then, and what, I mean, where do they want you to surrender him? Have they said, other than to just take him to Maddox?
That's it. That's all they said. Either surrender him to Maddox or find somewhere else for him to go that allows wild animals.
Oh, my goodness. So in the year that you've had him, I mean, have you taken him in for regular vet visits and things like that?
He has. The only thing I haven't done yet is have him neutered because he just reached like maturity level.
Okay. And I mean, you're not thinking of breeding him, are you?
No, I'm definitely not breeding him. One's enough.
So what's the best thing about having a wallaby for a pet?
He's very independent. I tell everybody it's like a mix between a cat and a dog. Like, he licks himself clean. He gives himself baths. He eats out of dog bowls and, goes on the puppy pads.
And what do you feed him?
I have a subscription through Chewy where they sell kangaroo food and wallaby food.
So you actually can get regular food that's nourishing for him and everything. I mean, it sounds like you've kept him very, very content, and he's healthy. And like I said, we've got the pictures here. He is absolutely adorable. What are you? I hate to go to this, Linda, but what are you going to do if they insist that they're going to take him away from you?
I'm fighting all I can. And I'm trying to do everything I can to fight to keep him. I think they're wrong. I think the ordinance is wrong, especially when it doesn't specify a wallaby.
Well, and the interesting thing is, if they had told you, if you had gone to them originally, and everybody had said it's okay to have him, the DNR, the police department, the village or the city, when you went there and asked if he needed a license, it's not like this is a surprise that you had him.
Correct. I've had him outside. I've had him in my front yard. People drive by. They want to take pictures or they want to pet him. So he's been so quiet and so calm. There's been nothing around since I've had him. The only reason he escaped and made news. That's it.
Oh, well, Linda, like we said, I'm sure he's a member of your family. If you've had him this long, it doesn't sound like he's been a nuisance at all. Hopefully you can get this straightened out. Will you keep in touch with us and let us know what happens?
I sure will.
Oh, Linda Rouster, August the Wallaby, give him a hug for us, would you?
I definitely will. He would love that.
All right, you take care now. It's 9:19 on WTMJ. Coming up, we got sports right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
When you come to our showroom, you'll find more than a dozen glass shower door displays. Now that's what you're going to want to see, because browsing a bunch of options usually spurs ideas that you've never even thought of. And when you walk around with one of our glass shower door experts, you can ask questions and get assurance. We're here to help. And after nearly 50 years in the glass shower door business, there's not a whole lot we haven't seen. So don't worry, your project's about to be put in the very best of hands. At Les's Glass Service, you can count on our experience that makes it easy to promise top-flight installation. Glass shower doors are our specialty, and we're out there humping it every day to add to our portfolio to make the next project even better than the last. This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Brewers floundered against the Marlins yesterday, losing 4-2 despite a strong start. The teams traded runs back and forth until a bases-loaded single in the eighth brought in 2 runs for the Marlins. The Brewers and the Marlins meet one more time this afternoon, and Brandon Woodruff returns to the pitcher's mound for the first time in almost 2 years. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
And it is 71 degrees at 9:21 on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia problems, cognitive decline. It's their specialty. They're great at it. And they also offer early memory loss classes. They can help your loved one with locations throughout our state, many here in Southeast Wisconsin. I've been in their facilities. They're top-notch. It's kindness at the core. It's compassion and empathy at Azura. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Brake issues, electrical issues, four-wheel drive issues, exhaust issues, and even my car just won't start issues.
You name it, we fixed it.
So the next time you're due for service, drive it on into Richlands and let our ASE certified technicians get you fixed up and safely back on the road.
Nothing warms my heart more than seeing our customers drive out of here with big old smiles on their faces. And all the credit goes to our staff, the most friendly, honest, hard-working, knowledgeable people in the business.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved.
And all staffed by ASE certified technicians, ready to provide you with top-notch service.
And after your vehicle's been serviced, drop us a Google review and let us know how we did.
Because a Google review from you goes a long way. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
Well,
I'm asking for a friend.
The best way to remove urine from a mattress is to trade in that old mattress for a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hassleus Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. And that's on top of our everyday low prices.
Come on, everybody says lowest prices.
Others sell a Sealy Posturepedic Queen Emeryville A mattress for $12.68. Hassleus sells it for $10.34. But through Monday, it's just $7.86. And check out the low prices on Beautyrest and more. Plus, free next day delivery.
What does my friend do with his old soaked mattress?
We haul it away for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassleus.com.
The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to the Sunday Sip on WTMJ. I am Kristen Bry, and I'm so excited to host my first Sunday Sip with Ellie Mental Health. I am here with Kelly Keel and Dawn Reese, both directors at Ellie Mental Health. So let's just start off. What is Ellie Mental Health?
We are so excited about Ellie Mental Health. We brought it to the area last fall. We're approaching our 1-year anniversary. So we are a team of outpatient psychotherapists who provide therapy to the community. We accept all major insurance plans, including Medicaid, Medicare.
Absolutely. And so what do both of you, Kelly and Dawn, do at Ellie Mental Health?
Well, we're both directors, and I think it's important to note we're also both clinicians, so we can see patients, and we do see patients. Kelly does do more of the, like she said, the networking and marketing, and I do more of the day-to-day and work with the team.
So I have to admit, my favorite animal of all time is an elephant. My daughter's nursery is covered in elephants, so that really stood out to me as far as that being part of your logo. Mm-hmm. But what is the connection between elephants and mental health?
So I love this question for Dawn.
Yeah, the concept is the elephant in the room. Okay. So it's this large animal that you can't ignore. It's there, but no one wants to talk about it. So the idea is, you come into our clinic and you're going to address the elephant in the room.
And elephants also very in touch with their emotions.
Yes.
Very emotional
and they're gentle giants. And I think, too, being therapists, we are there for it with you. So when people are willing to address that elephant, whatever it is for them, we're there for it.
I love that. So what would you say makes Ellie Mental Health different than other outpatient services that are around?
Kelly touched on it initially right out of the gate, talking about Medicaid and Medicare. And I think that's one of the things that sets us apart. A lot of outpatient clinics, they don't want to bill those insurances. They can be a little bit complicated. They can have some unique qualities to them, I'll say. But that was one of our philosophical choices right away. We want to accept those insurances. We really want to accept all insurances. One of the bigger things is how we conceptualize our therapists. We see them as specialists. So we hire folks that have specific certifications or specific interests in addressing certain symptoms or diagnostic profiles, where a lot of the landscape of mental health has really moved to looking at people as generalists. So if you're a therapist, this kind of outside philosophy is that you can see and you can work with anyone. But we don't believe that. We believe that you need to be, or should be, hopefully specialized in a way so you can treat eating disorders, where that's not my specialty. Mine is more trauma or more of the serious and persistent mental health issues, where some of the therapists, they don't have that background.
So when people think about like what services are offered right now, is there, like with all those different kinds of specialties, what would you say people can expect?
Eating disorder, substance use, trauma, PTSD, aging, grief-related issues, geriatric. I think we both kind of specialize in that.
Children and families. We're seeing a lot of need for children and families out in the area that we're in. And so that's another thing that's different about us, back to the specialties, is that when we're seeing demand and need in the community that is not being met, or that we don't have immediate availability for that population, we're going to target and hire in that way next, so that we're never overflowing the therapist, the clinic, and we're continuing to be able to meet the needs of the community.
Well, then I'm really excited because of our partnership here at WTMJ. So what is the Mental Health Minute?
We're excited to build a strong presence in the community so that more people can access the mental health support that they deserve. We want people to know that insurance and mental health do and should go together. Insurance should pay for your therapy, and that is something we really believe in, and we'll take on the insurance companies for our clients. So we don't want it to be difficult. We want mental health to be accessible. And two, we're very authentic in who we are. We really encourage therapists to be themselves, to come as they are, to dress how they choose, to decorate their offices how they like. And so it's a very calming, approachable environment that allows us to just bring people in to be themselves. For the Mental Health Minute, beyond providing therapy, we want to offer education around mental health conditions. We want to break down stigma for the community, and we want to create that space for open and honest conversation around issues that really matter and that come up.
Yeah, and so it's going to be airing during the news every day at 12 noon, right?
Yes, yeah, we're really excited, and definitely through like seasonal changes or news things that come up, we want to really use content that the listeners would want to hear about.
Amazing. And then tell me about the open house that's coming up on July 10th.
We're very excited for that. We we did have an open house in October, and that was much more a friends and family event because we weren't really known yet. This one is going to be really different because we have a lot of community partners now who will be showing up. So various hospital systems and other outpatient clinics and independent therapists will be coming to meet our team. It's becoming more important than ever to know the therapist you're referring to. And so community members want to know, who are we referring to? And we want to check you out and know if we want to refer to you. So that will be on July 10th from 4 to 6 p.m. And we'll have open doors. We'll have some sweet treats to share and just kind of a peek behind the curtain at our clinic.
And where can people get more information about that and about Ellie Mental Health?
They can follow any of our socials, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, for that information, or reach out to our clinic email, which is on our website as well.
Amazing. And we're so excited for our new programming with the Mental Health Minute, which will air during the news every day at 12 noon. Well, Kelly Keel, Dawn Reese, both from Ellie Mental Health, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. All right, this has been Sunday Sip on 620 WTMJ.
Remember mixtapes?
Mixtape? Can you buy that at the hardware store?
It's not that kind of tape.
To make a mixtape, you would dub all your favorite songs onto one cassette.
Oh, I was more of an 8-track guy myself.
You know, the new Marshfield 7000 Sulfat Penny Mustard reminds me of the world's greatest mixtape.
We have taken the latest and greatest components of every Penny Mustard configurable sofa and mixed them all together into one.
The Marshfield 7000 is the ultimate sofa.
It's absolutely stunning.
And the comfort level is off the charts.
I definitely see this sofa going all the way to #1.
It's kind of like a greatest hits album, except you can sit on it.
The Marshfield 7000 Sofa, starting at just $89 a month with no interest till July of 2027. Through July 6th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. If you have big questions about inflation, money, and your retirement goals, join me Tuesday, July 15th with your questions as I co-host an Instant Insight webinar with Annex Wealth Management's Chief Economist, Brian Jacobson. It's July 15th at 9 a.m. It's free, but you must register. Go to WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or check out events at AnnexWealth.com. Tuesday, July 15th, 9 a.m. It's free, but you need to register.
When it rains, it pours. But sometimes it hails. Or worse.
That tornado warning again is for Fond du Lac and Dodge County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now.
Keep us within reach for Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts.
Even if a tornado does not touch down, we know that there are powerful straight line winds.
On 620 WTMJ and WTMJ.com.
And it's 9:32, and we've got Tiff Pua in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Lots going on in Cudahy the last couple of days.
There is. Thanks, Libby. So a peaceful end to a standoff and officer-involved shooting in Cudahy. Police responded around 10 o'clock Saturday night to a complaint of property damage near East Henry and South Barland Avenues on Cudahy's south side. They tracked the suspect a few blocks away near Crosswinds Drive, where the suspect came to the door of the home pointing a gun at officers. One officer fired their weapon back at the suspect, who then retreated back into the house, forcing a shelter in place for the area. The 45-year-old Cudahy resident surrendered around 1 a.m. this morning. No one was injured, and charges are pending. One person is dead after a motorcycle crash in Walworth County. Police responded around 9:30 Saturday night on Highway 11 and County Highway JS in the town of Sun Prairie to a crash between a three-wheeled motorcycle and an SUV. 73-year-old Mark Weiss of Burlington was driving that motorcycle and died at the scene. The passenger of the motorcycle and the driver of the SUV were both taken to the hospital for serious injuries. An investigation into the cause of the crash continues. And a Cudahy woman is fighting to keep her wallaby. Linda Rouster spoke earlier with Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News that both the Wisconsin DNR and the Cudahy Chief of Police okayed her owning and keeping her wallaby, named August, last year. Last week, August got loose and attracted a lot of attention when he was recaptured and featured on the news. Police then gave Rouster until Tuesday to release the animal to Maddock. Rouster is working to prove that he is a domesticated animal and safe to keep. You can listen to the whole interview on Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News podcast. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Just one incident to report. 94 West, a little over a mile and a half from the ramp for Wisconsin 100. The left shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Now it is off to the side and traffic is moving. Just don't gawk at it and we'll be fine. The other issue is that there's pavement damage on Wisconsin 32 North, about 2/10 of a mile beyond Fond du Lac Avenue in Sheboygan Falls. All lanes are closed in that area, so it'll be a good idea to find an alternate route.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Scattered showers and storms, mostly cloudy with a high of 78. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 61. For your Monday, mostly sunny with a high of 77. Tuesday is partly sunny with a slight chance of rain or storms, a high of 81. Wednesday, a chance of scattered showers and storms and partly cloudy with a high of 80. For your Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 81. Right now in Cudahy, it's 74. In Delafield, it's 72. And in Milwaukee, there's light rain and 74 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:35.
I know you are really a busy person. I mean, you've got a young daughter, you've got an extended family, and you're here. It seems
all the time.
Almost all the time. Yeah. Do you have time for gardening?
I wish I did. I am not the one with a green thumb in my house, so my husband single-handedly keeps our plants alive. I can kill a cactus, and I've been known to do it. So I don't touch plants.
See, I am really getting into it. I didn't used to have as much time, but now I really enjoy it. And I love my garden, and I love planting things, and I like to see them grow. And we've got an expert coming up in just a couple minutes. It's Melinda Myers, and she's going to give us some tips on what to do this midsummer. This is where you start to see some of those problems with your garden. She's got some tips for us.
Oh, good.
And it's coming up right here in 2 minutes on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
And welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. It's 9:38 at WTMJ. On these summer days, I love sitting in my garden. Now, it has its issues, and when I do have those issues, there's one person I turn to. That is Melinda Myers. You know her name from so many different media appearances. She's also written over 20 books on gardening. And Melinda, thank you so much for joining us today.
Always a pleasure to talk gardening, and there's always new challenges in the garden and some things that we can celebrate our successes. So it's a great hobby and endeavor for everyone.
Well, there's nothing more tranquil than being able to just sit out and admire the things that you've planted that have done well. But I notice this time of year, as we get into midsummer and the heat starts in and everything, that's where I start noticing some of my plants have issues. What are some of the most common problems you hear about at this time of year?
First of all, this heat. We've experienced some really extreme heat this year, and so plants dry out quickly. And how do we keep them hydrated without overwatering, but making sure they get the moisture they need? And one thing is mulch, using leaves. Those fall leaves, don't rake them to the curb, bag them up, or put them in the garden right away. Shredded bark and wood chips work great around trees and shrubs and for paths. Evergreen needles, if you have some evergreens and the needles are piling up underneath, take a few of those out and spread them over your garden, or purchase mulch. But it helps keep the roots not only moist, so you don't have to water as often, but cooler, and that is so important. When temperatures are over 86, many plants suffer, and so if we can keep those roots cool and moist, that reduces the stress greatly. When you do water thoroughly. The problems I see is when it gets hot and dry. The problem that I see is most gardeners tend to do, I call it the one beverage watering. They open up their favorite beverage, they water the trees, the shrubs, the flowers, the lawn, everything. By the time they finish the beverage, they're in the house, in the air conditioning, and the plants really haven't got the moisture they need. And it also encourages shallow roots, so they're more drought stressed. So a good soaking. And do those new plantings first, moisture lovers, but don't forget the trees and shrubs when we have an extended dry period.
At this time of year, too, you notice that a lot of things that have done really well in your gardens seem to need to be thinned out. Is this a good time to transplant, or would you wait a while?
If you can wait, it's okay. The old saying is things that bloom in the spring, transplant them late summer, early fall. If they bloom in the fall, do it in the spring, midsummer, spring or fall. But what most gardeners have found, if you can give them good post-transplant care, then dividing them when you have time. It is stressful on you and the plant because it's hot, it's dry, the weeds thrive. And, right now a lot of us are just trying to keep up on managing weeds. It's been a great weed year in the garden. And so really thinning out the weeds, you remove competition for moisture and nutrients. Also, many of those weeds are hosts for insect and disease problems, so getting those out also reduces the risk to your plants. So if time is limited, I'd focus on getting the weeds out, mulching the soil, watering properly, and then waiting till we get a little cooler weather. But we've all transplanted at the wrong time, and sometimes you have great success when you do everything wrong, and sometimes you do it all right and you don't succeed. So, gardening can be challenging that way, but exciting and a good learning opportunity.
We're talking with Melinda Myers. She, of course, is the plant doctor, I would say the foremost plant expert in the state of Wisconsin. And okay, Melinda, here's my biggest crisis. I have hydrangeas everywhere, and I love hydrangeas. They're easy to take care of. I went outside the other morning, and a deer had decimated one of my prize hydrangeas. How do you keep them out of the yard? I mean, there are places everywhere for them to go and eat. Why did they zero in on that one plant?
That's one of their favorites, and I have to tell you a funny story. I work with Plant Skid, which is an organic, odor-based repellent, rain and snow resistant, and they wanted me to do a video on deer and keeping the deer away from your hydrangeas, and I went out to shoot in my yard, and the deer typically only ate the dried flower seed heads. They were eating everything, so they found good eats in my yard, so I feel your pain. So scare tactics may or may not work. The deer are so used to us, just like the rabbits and the squirrels. One gardener told me he put rebar posts and wine bottles overturned. He picked colorful ones. So when they rattled in the wind, good excuse, right?
Now I know what to do with my wine bottles.
Exactly. And then you feel better when you're drinking that wine to make those scare tactics. Sensing, but that's not always practical or the aesthetic we're looking for. And so if you do a repellent, whatever one you choose, as soon as you see the damage, or if better yet, before they start dining, to scare them away before they find their good eats, and then reapplying as directed on the label. The good news is the hydrangeas will tolerate it. The bad news is we've waited all winter to see the beautiful blooms and to have them grow to full size. So being proactive, not only with your hydrangeas, but a lot of the plants that they love to munch on, and start keeping a record of what they seem to eat. It does change from year to year, but if you can be proactive, so next year applying a repellent, if that's the option you choose to do, that's one option that will work better than if you wait, they found good eats, I start treating, and if they're hungry enough, they may end up eating them anyway.
Who knew that they had different tastes depending on the time of year? Melinda, I know you have so many great tips, and you're going to be at State Fair, I think, every day this year, aren't you?
You bet. I have 3 talks to give at Energy Park, and I'll be there talking companion planting, so research-based combinations that help with pest management, building the soil. New varieties. As gardeners, we always want to try new and different things, so I'll have wonderful containers to show and talk about. And then my last talk is going vertical. So whether you have a lot of room or very little room, doing vertical plantings for privacy, beauty, increasing your planting space. So, and then of course, answering questions. I'm basically there all day, every day, and available to answer questions in a beautiful green space at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
And I know you do a lot of other appearances as well, including having ladies' nights and lots of webinars. And if we want to get more, let's give that website, Melinda.
MelindaMyers.com. It's MYERS.com. Just take a look at the homepage, and you can find out where I'll be appearing live or webinars. And my webinars are recorded and available to watch for free, as well as the handout to download. So I want to help people have fun, be inspired, and be successful in their garden, and trying different ways to help them do just that.
Melinda Myers, you are delightful. Thank you so much for being here with us, and thanks for that tip on those wine bottles.
Yes, and enjoy your repelling activities for those deer.
The deer are driving me crazy. Melinda Myers, have a great summer.
You too.
It's 9:45. You're a minute away from sports on WTMJ.
John Mercure here for Landworks, Wisconsin. Are you looking at your yard and thinking about what could be? Not just new flowers, but a complete vision? A beautiful stone patio that flows into a winding garden path, leading to the perfect spot for a fire pit. Landworks, Wisconsin specializes in bringing those big ideas to life. From the initial sketch to the final planting, their expert team manages the entire project, ensuring your new outdoor living space, the patios, the walls, the gardens, all work together in one seamless, stunning design. Start your transformation today at landworkswisconsin.com.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Downtown Milwaukee is open for business, and business is booming. I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. According to business leaders, access to talent, quality of life, and connection to community are among the many benefits of locating downtown. So, if you want to grow your company or start a new one, get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Cotroneo for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
It's time to find great summer values at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We have everything you need to get out and celebrate the season at unbeatable Farm and Fleet prices. Like 1 pound bags of Blaine's brand pecan halves or pieces, $6.99 each. 50-foot yellow jacket extension cords are half price, $24.99. Plus, now through Sunday, we're thanking all first responders and healthcare workers with an extra 10% off their entire purchase. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original. In honor of Independence Day, our stores will be closed on Friday, July 4th.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers floundered against the Marlins yesterday with a 4-2 loss. The teams traded runs back and forth until a bases-loaded single in the 8th brought in 2 runs for the Marlins. The Brewers and Marlins meet one more time this afternoon, and Brandon Woodruff returns to the mound for the first time in almost 2 years. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up here on WTMJ. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
It's 9:48. Yep, that drizzle is going to kind of be ongoing throughout the day, depending on where you are. You might get a little more firm rain for a short time, but by late this afternoon, mid this afternoon, you'll actually see the sun sort of creeping out a little bit, but it's a lot cooler, and those really high humidities seem to be gone. We've got 72 degrees at 9:49 on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Certa Pro Painters. They painted the exterior of our house. I loved it because they're thorough and they're thoughtful. As a matter of fact, they pointed out some wood that might need to eventually be replaced. They just looked at the whole house, and I felt like they absolutely cared. Get on Certa Pro's calendar right now. The summer sales discount goes through July 31st. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. They'll do it the right way the first time. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. It's Certa Pro Painters.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I can't think of a better way to spend a summer day than to walk through some beautiful gardens. And you'll have the opportunity to do just that in Cedarburg on July 12th and 13th. Joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is Kristen Schlingman. She is the president of the Cedarburg Women's Club, and they're having a garden walk. Well, tell us, first of all, how this all got started, because this is not the first year you're doing the walk.
You're right. 15 years ago, some women in the Cedarburg Women's Club had this idea to share the beauty around Cedarburg of different gardens, and it was a hit the first year and continues to grow and grow every year.
Well, tell us about some of the gardens they're going to be visiting this year.
Oh, they're beautiful. There are all different kinds of gardens. There are some with outbuildings, outdoor retreat areas. Some have huge, vibrant floral displays. Some have lush landscaping. They're all very different. They all will inspire people of different ages to do different things in their own yards. So lots of variety.
What have some of those gardeners shared with you about what they're going to let people see?
Some of them go around and they label every different type of plant, shrubbery, tree, so that the people that are visiting are able to know what they are and can duplicate if they wish in their own gardens. Another one of the properties has a beautiful outdoor space. She's an artist, so she will also have some of her artwork available at the event in her beautiful little outdoor space. So lots to see.
We're talking with Kristen Schlingman from the Cedarburg Women's Club about the Cedarburg Garden Walk taking place on July 12th and 13th. I know this is one of your biggest fundraisers of the year.
It is. It definitely is. And we have lots of opportunities for people to volunteer if they're looking to volunteer, to sit at the gardens and help people check in and all of that. And then we also are doing, after people enjoy the beautiful gardens, they are welcome to head on over to the Cedarburg Art Museum for a free glass of bubbly and to just enjoy more outdoor, beautiful scenery.
Are all of the gardens close to each other? I mean, are you going to have to drive from one to the next?
Yes. So they're all located within the Cedarburg area. Once people purchase tickets, they can either do that online or they can purchase them at the Piggly Wiggly in Cedarburg. But there's a map on there that will show them the different gardens available to go take a look at. So they're all within driving. They're all within the Cedarburg area. Might take 5 to 10 minutes to get to each one.
I think a lot of people are wondering, too, if they're going to be walking in a garden, they need to be prepared for that.
Yes. So we recommend wearing tennis shoes or, comfortable shoes to walk through all the different landscape and dress for the weather. This is a rain or shine event. So, if it's raining, we're still going to be there. So just dress appropriately for that.
Well, it's a wonderful event. It's a great fundraiser for the Cedarburg Women's Club. And give us that website if we want to get tickets today.
Sure. It's cedarburgwomensclub.org. That's Cedarburg, the word women's, WOMANS club.org.
I know we're all hoping for great weather, and we'll have to get out there to Cedarburg on July 12th and 13th for the Cedarburg Garden Walk. Kristen Schlingman, can't thank you enough for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's 9:55. I'm Libby Collins. Well, the Buckinghams are celebrating their 60th anniversary with a show at the Belfry Music Theater in Williams Bay later on this month. I asked lead singer Carl Gimarisi what it was like to have hit records while he was still in high school. Carl, you were a kid. Had to be a little bit daunting the first time you stepped into a recording studio.
Well, yes, it was. We were totally inexperienced. And then...
kind of a drag when that song took off. I was just a senior in high school when it was a #1 record.
What was the reaction of the kids you were going to school with?
They were pretty excited for me, my whole clique of friends. Unfortunately, I went to an all-boys high school. So me and my friends, we would visit a lot of the other schools and had girls.
They had 5 top 40 hits in a single year, and Billboard called them the most listened to band in America. Plus, they appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show as well as the Smothers Brothers and all those big shows from back in the 60s. Carl Giammarese, lead singer of the Buckinghams, is going to share memories with me this morning at 11. Right here on WTMJ. Thanks for joining us today. We covered a lot of ground, from gardens to wallabies to Superman. And got a lot more ahead, because right after the news, it's Graffiti and WTMJ Outdoors. As I said, I'll be back at 11 with conversations, and then Brewers warm-up is at noon. That first pitch is at 1:10. It's all ahead right here on WTMJ.
With all the positive Google reviews continuing to pour in for Richlands Tire and Service Centers, we want you to know we appreciate you.
You were due for service, we delivered, and then you